Gauteng's Cooperative Governance MEC Lebogang Maile has suspended Tshwane Speaker Katlego Mathebe for 6 months without pay. He says it's because she failed to conduct a Tshwane Council meeting. Maile has also suspended former Johannesburg Council Speaker Vasco da Gama for 3 months. He now joins me in studio to talk to me a bit more about these decisions. MEC, thank you so much for coming through. I guess the purpose of this interview is really to get to check with you in as far as the legal provisions, right, that give you the power to suspend these councillors. Firstly, are you 100% confident that all of these decisions you have taken are defensible at law and will stand the test of scrutiny?
Thank you very much, and thanks for having me. We will also want to greet the viewers at home. You would know that there's been a process on both municipalities to interact with both speakers. We wrote several letters to them seeking explanations based on the relevant applicable legislations, and they've responded, and therefore on the basis of that interaction which we have been having with them, we are confident that we are correct and that we are acting in the best interest of the citizens of Tshwane. And therefore, if there's any court challenge, as the DA has hinted, we wouldn't have a problem. It's their right to take us to court, and we respect the courts, and we know very well that the final arbiter on interpretation of the law is the courts. Right. And we will respect court outcome. Your
actions are based on your assessment and judgment that they've basically, at least in the instance of Katlego Mathebe, she's violated, in your view, the code of conduct for councillors.
Including the former speaker, yes.
Both of them.
Yes.
That is part of the Municipal Systems Act.
Yes.
In what way, let's take Katlego Mathebe for a moment, in what way did she violate this code of conduct?
Well, both of them, their actions led to for instance, in Johannesburg, the speaker arbitrarily postponed a council meeting. In Tshwane, she also contributed toward disrupting the meeting of the 16th January. But you'll also know that Katlego Mathebe, I'll say she's a second-time offender, because in December, I think the 5th, if I'm not mistaken, she was also implicated. You will remember that that council, which was supposed to finalize a motion of no confidence on her and other office bearers, including the mayor, could not conclude this business, hence the meeting of the 16th of January. So our worry and our concern is the disregard for the laws that governs municipal councils and the provisions of the Constitution that says the municipal council of any municipality is the highest decision-making body, and the legislative and executive authority in any municipality rests with the council and not with the speaker. In these two instances, both the former speaker and the current speaker have acted contrary to these provisions of the law.
The DA is saying that you are inconsistent in your application of this code of conduct for councillors, which does grant you the powers to suspend a councillor for a period of time if you are of the opinion that that councillor has breached a provision of the code of conduct. They're saying, for example, in an example that applies to you in this province, when former Emfuleni Mayor Simon Mofokeng was accused of spending more than 1.7 million rand of public money on KFC, Nando's and hotels, he was not suspended in the way that you have done for misconduct.
The DA is clutching at straws, and I understand they are badly bruised. Having lost Nelson Mandela, Johannesburg, and now it seems they will lose Tshwane. So they're badly bruised, confused, and I don't think they know what they're talking about. Because when the former mayor of, Emfuleni, he was mayor, I was MEC for economic development. I was not there. That's the first thing. But the second thing, they can't take chances and accuse us of being inconsistent. Because one of the things we did, the first day we came into office, at least in this portfolio, was to make sure that every communication with all municipalities is in writing. You will remember we wrote a letter to the mayor of Ekurhuleni about the allegations of 2 billion whatever money on the corruption scandal in the toilet
situation.
We wrote a letter and we issued a press statement. It was well covered and we said they must answer. We wrote a letter to the Lesedi municipality on allegations of. So there is no time where there's been allegations and we have never acted impartially, decisively, and consistently. So the DA is just clutching at straws, and we want to look at the matter at hand to say they are doing everything in their power. And in fact, they are the ones who have advised these two councillors to behave in the manner that they're behaving.
Right. So talk to me about who ultimately at law should be making this decision of whether or not a councillor has breached this code of conduct of councillors, which is part of the Municipal Systems Act. Because I'm a bit confused. I mean, the one section of the code says a municipal council may investigate and make a finding. That's 14.1. But then 14.6 says if the MEC is of the opinion that a councillor has breached a provision of this code, the MEC may suspend the councillor. Is this a badly written law such that it leaves gap for confusion of whose decision this ultimately is?
No, I don't think so. Remember that municipalities are a sphere of government on their own. So there could be matters that have to do with the running of the municipality. Therefore, the council, because council has got legislative and executive authority on that and those matters they can deal with. And then there would be matters like these ones of national interest in this regard, matters that have to do with the constitution, the law and all that. The MEC can intervene like we're doing now. So we don't think there's any confusion. But that is why we are happy that the DA is taking the matter to the courts, because the courts are the final arbiters on the interpretation of the law.
Right.
And some of these pronouncements of the courts, they help us to perfect these laws, execute them better, and improve in how we serve our people. So we are not worried about being taken to court. We think it's a right step.
MEC Lebogang Maile, thank you so much for coming through and having this conversation with me here on Upfront on ENCA. We will be watching that one very closely as it unfolds, the DA threatening that they'll be going to court. We'll have to see how it all plays out.